On this edition of Fulton at Work, what was old is new again. The county's health center offers state-of-the-art technology in a building built nearly a century ago. We'll take a look at these features and the conveniences that patients and employees are enjoying. I'm Daryl Carver. All that and more starts right now on Fulton at Work. After spending nearly 60 years at the Aldridge Health Center, Fulton County's new health department location will soon be open to the public. A 44,000 square foot clinic is now opening inside historic 10 Park Place. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has more.
The new Fulton County Public Health at 10 Park Place is just a few blocks away from its former location at the Aldridge Health Center. Now, because thousands of patients depend on county services, this new state-of-the-art facility is just what the doctor ordered.
From the outside, the new health center looks like a typical downtown office building, but inside is anything but ordinary.
We're providing them the best professional care, and now we're going to provide it in a very attractive environment.
State-of-the-art equipment, new furniture, and freshly painted walls. The renovated facility replaces the Aldridge Health Clinic, which many say had seen better days.
Aldridge was in such horrendous shape that we would have had to spend much, much more just to get it up to the condition of this facility.
The new center has services on the 4th, 5th, and 6th floors. Nearly all of the services and programs from Aldridge will be available at the 10 Park Place location, including the Tuberculosis Clinic, STD Clinic, HIV, and the Y and White program.
This facility is going to be the state of the art, number one. The atmosphere here is going to be so much different than Aldridge.
County leaders say the 10 Park Place location is convenient because it is right in the middle of downtown, near MARTA's 5 Point station, so clients can walk there in just a few minutes.
And when major health emergencies occur in the region, staff in this new facility will now be able to better respond.
We'll have something called telehealth, which is a state-run network, so that in the case of outbreaks and things like that, you can connect with all other state entities in the other counties and across the country for that matter.
Thank you, Priscilla. When we come back, Facilities Project Manager Dennis King will join us to tell us a little bit more about what it took to get this project off the ground and more about all of those high-tech changes. So please stay with us. Welcome back to Fulton at Work. I'm Daryl Carver. In keeping with the county's strategic priority area that all people are healthy, Fulton County Public Health at 10 Park Place offers its patients and employees a much more comfortable experience. Joining us now to talk more about this, Facilities Project Director Dennis King. First of all, Mr. King, thank you for joining us here on Fulton at Work.
Thank you for having me, Daryl. Appreciate it.
Why was it time to move out of the Aldridge Health Center?
Well, we probably should have moved out of there a long, long time ago. The Aldridge facility is over 60 years old. In addition to that, due to bad economic times, and I don't have to remind everybody about that, for the past 15 years or so, we have not had the funds necessary to address some of the most critical infrastructure issues. And when you're dealing with people in a health environment, that's very critical. But saying that, it was time for us to explore selling the facility and finding something that can really express what Fulton County is about.
Now, why was 10 Park Place chosen as the location for that new health center?
Well, we looked at over 20 locations, and what we wanted a facility that was very close to the population that it treats. Obviously, Fulton County is the population, but a lot of the patients that attend or are necessary to go to 10 Park Place are also Grady patients. And this facility handles HIV, STDs, PPVs, tuberculosis, and a number of other issues related to that, communicable diseases. And consequently, this is a centralized downtown center of Fulton County facility that's near MARTA, within walking distance. We have parking at the stadium, and we have shuttles that take our employees back and forth daily to that facility. And it really is so easily accessible to every one of the patients who needs to be there, and employees, I should add.
Tell us more about the relationship between county leaderships and Grady Health Systems that really made all of this possible in the first place.
Well, thank you. We have a great partnership with Grady, and that's what we consider it to be, a partnership. As you know, Fulton County funds a great deal of Grady's resources from a county perspective to handle the care of people who visit Grady in emergency rooms and other areas during the year. What happens is when a person is diagnosed as having one of these treatable and possibly treatable, but at least need some additional services, those people are referred to us. And then previously we had Aldridge across the street from Grady, so it was just walk across the street to be treated. Now all they have to do is walk 2 blocks and they're at the new facility. And that was another reason for selecting 10 Park Place.
Now, 10 Park Place is a historic address here in Atlanta. It's nearly 100 years old. Talk about the renovations that were needed to really make any of this possible.
Well, first of all, it is on the National Historic Registry of buildings, which is very few buildings in the city of Atlanta or anywhere near are on that registry. It was one of the first of its kind. It's an Art Deco building that has a modernistic, what they call a modernistic approach with the Art Deco, which was a little bit more scaled down, but a little bit more elegant. We took 3 floors there. We have the 4th and the 5th floor entirely, and we took 3/4 of the 6th floor, and by instance, we're sharing that floor. Grady and Emory have a small presence at the end of the hall. They're behavioral health people, which is fitting like hand and glove. The clinic is on the 5th floor. The administration is on the 4th floor. And on the 6th floor, we have the outreach people that go out and follow up on these communicable diseases. And in addition to that, we're very proud to say that we have a conference area that's divided into 3 parts but can be opened up into one large conference area to honor Commissioner Joan P. Garner. And she was aware that we were doing this in her last days and was very, very honored and pleased.
What's happening now to Aldridge now that that facility will no longer be in use?
That's a really good question. When I first came in 2 years ago, the county manager had asked me, there had been some previous interest from Grady expressed about purchasing Aldridge. Aldridge has a 4-level parking deck in there, and so consequently Grady was either going to purchase it and destroy Aldridge and build a bigger parking lot, or build a new clinic there with an attached parking deck. I don't know their ultimate plans. It is my understanding, though, pretty much, that Grady is going to totally demolish the Aldridge Center there.
Now, some services that used to be at Aldridge have been relocated around to other health centers.
Right.
What's available at 10 Park Place and what isn't?
Okay, good question. And I'm not a public health official. I'm an employee of Department of Real Estate and Asset Management, but I've lived with these folks for a year, so I'm pretty familiar with what they do and how they do it. What we wanted to ensure was that, number one, we had the major clinical functions in place. So as I said, the 5th floor is all clinic. And it has examination rooms, it has interview rooms where we discuss the individual's condition. It has a lab, a fully functional lab that's absolutely magnificent, state of the art. It has a pharmacy that is state of the art. And it has the support people that are necessary to do it. And then, of course, you have administration and so forth. There were some areas that were either better suitable out at other clinics that are performing that function, like we have, I believe dental is done at 265 Boulevard. Some other functions are at Adamsville and College Park. And what we did was we moved some of the nursing out to one of the other locations. We moved hearing audiology. We moved that testing and so forth in other services where primarily they were dealing with children more than with adults, and there's a natural linkage there. So that's basically it. The rest of the functions we basically kept and moved down to 10 Park Place.
That's great information. Now, when we come back, we'll take a more detailed look at the state-of-the-art features 10 Park Place offers and the building's other cool features. So please stay with us. Welcome back to Fulton at Work. I'm Daryl Carver. Public Health at 10 Park Place offers 44,000 square foot clinic with multiple state-of-the-art features. We welcome back Facilities Project Director Dennis King to go into a little bit more detail about that. Now, 44,000 square feet, that's a lot of room. 3 floors worth, in fact. What's included on each floor?
Okay. The clinic, all of the clinical functions are incorporated on the 5th floor. So everything associated with it, including things like hard to say for me, see I'm a construction guy, phlebotomy, the lab, the pharmacy, the examination rooms, the interview rooms, everything, obviously the STD intake area where we service the clients that are in there. And get them scheduled and seen and so forth, as well as TB, the TB area. Now we've called them, in fairness, the names have actually been changed. The area that was previously known as STDs and PPVs and things of that nature, HIV, Ryan White, are now being called sexual health services. So we're referring to that, and the signage will say sexual health services. In the case of what was previously known as TB, it will now be known as respiratory health services. So when you hear these terms in the future, they may be a little foreign to you as they are to me, but I think that's a wise choice because when you're dealing with these folks, in some cases their spirits are as low as their physical condition. And what we're trying to do is be more sensitive to what's going on. In the also in the case of the 4th floor, we have all of the administration, including the director's area. We have the environmental health area, which of course is restaurant health inspections and other things related to public health. And we have an interesting part of this floor is that we have the Emergency Preparedness Center, which includes the Emergency Preparedness Operations Center with a separate Emergency Preparedness Situation Room in the event, heaven forbid, that we have a really serious either weather outbreak or other type of outbreak that requires a full staff there 24 hours a day for who knows how long. So the 4th floor basically has those functions in it, or around it, I should say. And I was trying to think off the top of my head if I missed anything, and if I missed anything, I apologize. We have epidemiology has a presence on that floor also. The 5th floor we talked about. The 6th floor, in addition to the Commissioner Joan P. Garner Conference and Training Center, we have what's called our Field Services Support people. And what those people are, those are outreach people. Those people go out in the field, and once people have been identified with having these respiratory or sexual health services, we want to ensure that they understand what the support is that we provide for them to bring them back to health. Because it's not just a one-time, visit. It's a situation of how do you keep these people healthy, and how do you get them to do the things that you're asking them to do to keep themselves and get themselves healthy. So.
Now, I know something else that's a part of this is state-of-the-art equipment that is here. If you can go into a little bit more about that, about what you're bringing in just in that category.
Yes, and I apologize for jumping around, okay. But in the case of the 5th floor of the clinic, because that's really where you think of all the state-of-the-art equipment. In the case of the clinic, as an example, in addition to having the safety and security that we have to have necessary in order to operate a facility that's safe for employees and customers, we have things such as in the laboratory. We spent a great deal of money, not unreasonably. It was a competitive look, but it was also custom designed to ensure that, because that's important, your lab and your pharmacy and your examination rooms are your customer interfaces, and they carry a very high risk with them if you don't ensure that you do everything you can do to make them as germ resistant and germ free as you can. Can't make them germ free, but you can make them germ resistant. As an example, in the laboratory, all of the workstations, all of the equipment in there, with the exception of some of the equipment to do some of the technical aspects of measuring things that they do there that I don't know anything about. All of those things are new. The surfaces on the counters where they work with all of these specimens are impervious to, as much as it can be, as nothing's 100%, impervious to all germs, bacteria, any type of acids, all kinds of things, and are built to last a lifetime, be serviceable, cleanable, and so forth. We have taken every ounce of precaution. We've taken every ounce of technological advantage to make these the most usable, employee-friendly type stations that you can do. We have a phlebotomy area where we've got all new equipment. We didn't want to bring chairs over that were there for 15 years, and that was part of the problem, is everything in Aldridge was old. Not just certain pieces of equipment or furniture or things of that nature. The examination tables were terrible. All of those kinds of things. So all of the things we brought in are state-of-the-art, current day technology, including, let's go to the examination areas. In the examination areas, we have several tables available that are built specifically for people who have disabilities. But the fact of the matter is, what we've tried to do is incorporate all of the latest technology in those areas. In the case of the pharmacy, we've got all new equipment and layouts and everything else. We've got a protection screen for them. We've got cameras all throughout the facility to protect the employees and to protect the patients, because that's very important to know. You're dealing in a situation that's very highly stressful for the employees as well as the patients that are coming there.
Now, from what I understand about those employees, that so far this new facility is getting rave reviews from them. Tell us about why.
Absolutely. Let me add one more thing, and that is on the Joan P. Garner, Commissioner Joan P. Garner Training and Conference Center. That is the highest tech area that you could ever want. And we've done something so they can carry on long distance, multi-person, Board of Health conversations, conferences, coast to coast or around the world. So that's a pretty significant thing. So I apologize. Would you restate your question for me?
Well, what we were saying is the employees so far have said that they're really impressed with what they're getting out of
Absolutely. And what I would say is what we've done is we've tried to make it obviously safe, secure, efficient, technologically the best state of the art and so forth. But what we also tried to do was make it to where it is, color can do a lot of things. And it can either bring you up or it can take you down. And anyone that has been to Aldridge in the past 20 years can attest to the fact that when you went into Aldridge, the mood that you went in with if you were ill didn't become any brighter by going into Aldridge. So what we did was take a very bright, colorful, we had a great design firm, a great construction company. We worked with them very closely. It is full of color all the way through. And it's not just for the clients, it's for the employees too. When you go to work, you don't want to go to work in a dark, dreary environment. We've got state-of-the-art lighting, the highest efficiency you can get. We've got HEPA filters in areas such as the respiratory health area, which is an extra added safety measure. So there's just a bunch of things. The furniture is bright and cheery. It's got multiple colors in it. There's just the break room for the employees is just a beautiful thing. So again, what we did is we stayed within the budget we established, but we made sure that we did it right. Fulton County knows that we don't do this kind of thing very often. Maybe once every 62 years or 63 years, whatever the exact age is. So if you're going to do it right or don't do it.
And as we wrap up, your final thoughts on the move, and ultimately, what do you hope this will mean to the citizens we're serving here in Fulton County?
Thank you. Yes, I do have some final thoughts. And I thought about this last night, and I've been doing this type of thing for 50 years. Not clinics, but anything associated with operations, real estate, design, building, and so forth. And I've done a lot of things that I think have been done fairly well over the years, hopefully so. But the fact of the matter is, I came out of retirement to work for the county manager here, who is, I guess, my hero. And I did it because I wanted to do something that was good for the people. And when you look at the clientele that we've been talking about, they need all the help and the spirit raising and the employees. You had these dedicated employees working in this hideous environment. When I say hideous, these people are professionals. They did the best care, whether it was in Aldridge or whether it be in 10 Park Place, that any human being can do. And I've gotten to know them one-on-one for the past year. And I can tell you they're top-notch professionals, right? But there's got to be something that works on your psyche in working in an environment like that. So as I've gone along and we've worked on this project, I've gotten more and more excited. And the reason I've gotten more and more excited is there are a lot of things that sometimes in county, city, federal, whatever, that you look at and you say, well, why would anybody want to spend money on things like that? And it's taxpayer money and the whole thing. If you see this environment and you see these people and you see the people that they help, there won't be any question in your mind. What we're doing is establishing a legacy going forward to help these people. But you know what? It helps Fulton County. You know what else? It helps the city of Atlanta. You know what else? The work that these people do in this environment hopefully will help other people in other cities, other states across the country. I'm really proud of this.
Des King, thank you for your time and thank you for your work on this project. And we'll be back to wrap up our show in just after this short break. Stay with us. That's all of our time. Thank you for joining us for Fulton at Work, and a very special thank you to Facilities Project Director Dennis King for being our guest. Now, we want to connect with you online. Please check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm Daryl Carver, and we'll see you next time.